Hi to the O-Drinkerinos. Welcome to this week's episode of the Idaho Booze Podcast with me, Steve Kuntz. On today's show, we are once again without a guest. No one came through the doors, so I will be doing an extended Friday Night Pints going over a bunch of new beers that I found out all across the state. Well, mostly kind of here in the Treasure Valley. Sorry, Northern Idaho, I didn't see anything new from you guys. We'll have beers from Barbarian, Mother Earth, Sockeye, all your favorites. It's going to be a fun show, and we'll keep it fairly short without a guest today, so without further ado, this week's beers. Right after this. Treasure Valley Chevron literally has everything you need for that trip up to Cascade, Donnelly, or the Sawtooth. With locations at Beacon Light and Highway 55 and I-84 at Gowan Road, they could not be more convenient. Say you need hot sauce for those bacon and eggs you're going to whip up at the cabin. TVC has that. Say you need propane for the grill at your place in Idaho City. TVC has that. Say you need a six-pack of Idaho craft beer for her and a nice bottle of Snake River Valley Syrah for you for that snowy weekend away. Oh yeah, wink wink. TVC has that. For everything you need to live that cabin life, head to Treasure Valley Chevron at Beacon Light or Gowan Road today. It's time for a big edition of Friday Night Pints. You can also read these reviews and a few more over on my Substack, idahobooze.substack.com. If you subscribe, you get everything right to your inbox every single week. You get the pod, you get my column, you get it all. So I recommend going over there, idahobooze.substack.com. Just subscribe, why don't you? Support the show, subscribe to the Substack, and you'll get everything in your inbox. Our first beer up for this week on this gigantic version of Friday Night Pints is Mother Earth's brand new Project X Hazy IPA. This one is a banger. I'm not sure if that's a New Zealand accent, but Spirit Animal is what this one's called. It's flush with New Zealand hops called Nectaron. You get some really fun, nice stone fruit in there with like apricot and peach, tropical fruit notes all in the nose. The flavor is nice with passion fruit, pineapple, peach, that kind of apricot, sort of tart apricot, and a touch of lime zest on there as well. Not only do I really like the majority of these Project X beers, but at only 10 or 12 bucks a 4-pack, it's actually a pretty good deal as well. So 7.2%, 50 IBU on tap, and in 16-ounce cans everywhere Mother Earth is sold. And Sockeye, with all those brewers, man, it's coming, and they finally did. They put out a bunch of new beers. These beers are all kind of cool. They're all different, kind of fun. I think they put out 4. I tried 3 of them. We have Sockeye Explosions in the High. This one is a rye saison. It's porous golden yellow with a thin white head. You get peaches, black pepper. You get that horse blanket. Oh, we love the horse blanket, don't we, folks? Some banana, all on the nose with just a touch of kind of clovey yeast on the aroma there. Not bad. Really nice, actually, for a saison. Honey, pepper, that straw, that horse blanket, and freshly cut grass all on the palate with a nice chunk of oak. Really nice, like kind of think like a Chardonnay kind of oakiness to it. It's a nice big saison. That rye also comes through really nicely in the aroma and on the flavor. It's peppery, it's flowery, it's everything you want out of a rye beer. And this one happens to be a saison as well. So a nice beer for the winter times. About 7% over there at Sockeye, both locations anyway. Next one called Monsooning. This is made with Chenin Blanc grapes and sort of a sour, I guess. It's more of a tart than a sour. You get green grapes, oak, sweet tarts, all right there in the nose. Really nice, and the sweet tarts are nice on there. Sort of brings a lot of like tartness and sourness to the nose. Pours darkish yellow with a thick white head. It's not super tart on the flavor, but the abundance of green grapes with that kettle soured beer definitely hits the spot. Hits the back end of the tongue for sure with that little bit of tartness. So fun beer there from Sockeye, 5.9%, 10 IBU. That's on tap at both Sockeyes. And then finally Rapunzel. This one pours almost amber, sort of a dark yellow with a thick white head. Sweet cracker malt. You get grassy, citrusy hops on the nose. All that comes through on the palate with just a touch of mint. And this one was brewed with Sabro and Citra hops. So you get a nice little flavor of mint. You get a nice lime kind of zest flavor in there as well. Some grapefruit. Nice little beer, 6.1%, 33 IBU. All those are on tap at both Sockeye locations. You got Fairview up there by the village, and then down 36th Street on Hill Road, the new one, which is really cool. Finally went out to Burt's Brewing. It's been a while. Last Match was what I wanted to try. This is their cherry smoked Helles that they talked about on the show a few weeks ago. This beer, pretty awesome. I got to tell you, they use the cherry smoked malt here. So it's not like campfire. It's not ashy. It's not bacony. It's kind of got this like barbecue sort of thing going on. Anyway, Really liked it a lot. I thought it was a really nice, refreshing Helles, even though it was also smoked. So, go ahead and give it a try. See what you think. I thought it was really good. It had a nice, honey along with the barbecue on the nose, a little bit of grassy hops as well. Drank really nicely. I just thought it was a really cool beer. 4.5%. Go ahead and try that over at Burt's Brewing. Then at Barbarian, had a chance to try the brand new Morrigan that they just put out. This is a barrel-aged Imperial Stout. The 12% regular Morrigan, this one, man, right on the nose, you get just a big whiff of bourbon. I mean, grandpa's breath, right? Just all there, vanilla, bourbon, you got dark chocolate, and it's just a really nice nose on there. It's just really, really big and sweet, and you just get the bourbon right away, right there on the nose. And then the look of the beer is really nice too. Inky black, really hard to see through. You can't really see through the thing. Opaque, and then you get like this really caramel colored head, really nice and thick. Just a really cool looking beer, awesome smelling beer as well. And then the flavor is fantastic. It's got a lot of bourbon, but that bourbon offset by the booziness, so you get a little bit of heat on the back end that sort of offsets that booziness. Recommend buying a couple bottles of this one and laying it down for 6 to 12 months. See how it ages. I think it'll age really nicely with that booze and that bourbon. Really nice beer, the Morrigan. So check that out at both Barbarian locations. 12% on tap and in bottles. Barrel aged this is a cherry almond Morrigan. This is a variant, and this one is a little bit different. First of all, you don't get any head on this one. The almonds have sort of an oil or something in there that makes it so head retention almost impossible in any beer with almonds in it. The nose on this one is really nice. It's like one of those macaroon cookies. It's like a cherry almond macaroon with like dark chocolate and a little bit of that bourbon still kind of peeking through the cherry and the almond. Then in the flavor, you definitely get the cherry. The cherry comes through really nicely. That almond sort of holds it all together. So you get like this cherry, bourbon, dark chocolate sort of flavor with this almond sort of all the way through. So really nice beer from our friends at Barbarian. That one's 12%. Next one, Hell's Fury. This is 1L on Hell's. This is a Russian Imperial Stout on Nitro. This one, I like a big Russian Imperial Stout. I like one of those, remember that guy from Street Fighter? I want that guy. I want that big Russian Imperial Stout. This is a figure skater. This is 7% alcohol. Not as big as I want it to be for an Russian Imperial Stout, but still pretty tasty, and it looks great on Nitro. Nitro pour looks really good. Inky black, nice white creamy head. Just a really cool looking beer, and really nicely done with the Nitro. It doesn't really need the bubbles. All the flavors kind of there. It's dark chocolate. It's roasted coffee. It's a little bit of tobacco. It's a nice little beer, but definitely not the big burly Russian Imperial Stout that I'm used to. This one a little on the light side at 7%. But still, tasty beer from Barbarian. You can get that on tap. All those on tap at both Barbarian locations. And Ruckus Brewing, went and checked them out. I haven't been there for a couple weeks. They had a new porter on. This one's an American porter called Backlash, 5.5%, 30 IBU. Pours really nice and black with a thick white head. Right away on the nose, you just get a big hop aroma, like big, piney, resinous-y hops. Really cool. Nice for an American porter. I think sometimes with those porters, they're under hop. This one definitely not that. It is very hoppy. The flavor is really nice. It's a sort of a milk chocolate, dark kind of like a medium chocolate. And it's not I wouldn't say it's like a dark, bitter chocolate flavor. It's more like kind of a nice, like a chocolate bar, like a dark chocolate bar. But the bitterness from the hops really comes through. Super bitter, piney, resinous-y. Nice little beer from Ruckus. I kind of like that he went out on a limb and did kind of a weird porter. So go check that out over at Ruckus Brewing. Gem State had a couple of new beers out. The Hoptimist. This is a new IPA. Oh, man, what a great beer this one was. Throwback for me. I mean, Centennial and Cascade hops all throughout. Piney, resinous-y with a little bit of grapefruit on the nose. And you get that all in the flavor. It's very hoppy, very bitter. Very nice to kind of go back to a real kind of West Coast style IPA. So the Hoptimist IPA from Gem State Brewing, that's on tap right now, 6.8%, 68 IBU. And then Cheeky Fellow, this is an ESB. I tried this one at the insistence of Chris, the brewer. He insisted I try it. So this one, really nice flavors. You get brown sugar, you get honey, you get like a graham cracker. It's not super bitter. I know a lot of times with the ESBs, The American versions, anyway, they kind of get carried away with some of the hoppiness because it says bitter in it, so why not? But you got to remember, this is a British beer, and bitter to the British is like 5 IBU. So this one, 29 IBUs, still pretty hoppy, but nice little malt bomb here. Good flavors, nice easy drinker at 5%. Highly recommend that one as well from Gem State Brewing. And that's going to do it for Friday Night Pints for this week. Lots of great beers in there. And if you want to see those and more beers, check out my Substack. That's idahobooze.substack.com. You can subscribe to that for free right now. Get all that stuff. Get the Friday Night Pints column. Get this podcast. All in your email box each and every week from me. Coming up next, we're going to wrap up the show, tell you what's going on in the next couple of weeks. That's right here and right next on the Idaho Booze Podcast. This show brought to you by Idaho Brewers United. Download the new Idaho Brewers Trail app on Apple or Google today. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to read another ad. I'm just going to open the app up right now and kind of walk you through it so you can see how easy and fun it is. And I just got this at the Apple, whatever that store is. So you go onto the app and right away you see a bunch of breweries listed here. And they're all sort of listed, by geographic location. So I'm in Eagle. So the first one that comes up is Gem State. That's great. I was just there the other day. Powder House, Brown Beard, Alliteration Ales, Brown Beard's Barrel House. We got Loose Screw on here. Sockeye. Let's see. Did I take any pictures while I was at Sockeye? I don't remember. Well, here's one from Bert. Here's Bert's Brewing. So let's click on Bert's. And we're going to go ahead and let's see. It comes up. It has the address, has a phone number. It has all the social medias that you need on there. It has the hours. It has a little blurb about Bert's Brewing. Very cool, very cool. Then you go to events. You can see upcoming events. You go to posts. You see, a bunch of other people that were there. So it looks like Dawn was there 10 days ago. You got a brown porter. Didn't have much to say. I like it, Dawn. Short and to the point. Eric checked in. Great beer and environment. Thanks, Eric. That's great. Looks like Colleen was there. She says awesome. Okay. Thanks, Colleen. Jacob had a beer there. Looks like he had a little, it looks like a dark kind of brown beer. Maybe it's their alt beer or their, I don't know which one that is. Anyway, Jacob checked in there 13 days ago. Way to go. Looks like Steve got the new pale ale. Way to go, Steve. So yeah, you can go and see what other people checked in on, and then you can check in yourself, which I can do right now. And I can be like, try the last match Ellis. It's smoke-tastic. So we're checking into that, and then I'm going to put a little picture of it right there. Let's see, it'll go to my pictures, select from photo library. Let's see, there's the one I had, and check in. Boom. I have successfully checked in. And you know what? That's not all I want to do, because obviously you want to get on the Idaho Brewers Trail to start stamping your passport to get rewards from local breweries. So we're going to stamp our passport here. And since I was there the other night and not there right now, it's like, hey, look, you're not there. You got to click manual stamp request. All right, I'll do that. You're the boss. So then a little manual stamp request comes up. This goes to the board of directors over there at the Idaho Brewers Trail. It's a whole big board. I think they got 30 people on there at least. And so I'm going to select a photo. It's going to be the same photo because I only took one. And there's my photo. I'm going to put that on there, and then I'm going to submit my request. And hopefully that stamp comes through pretty soon from that big board of people, huge board. So you head to idahobrewers.org, sign up for the newsletter, download the Idaho Brewers Trail app today, start checking in and start getting your stamps and winning cool stuff from Idaho Brewers and idahobrewers.org. Well, that's going to do it for this week. For the show, we are going to have a sort of re-release of the Burt Show next week. I'm going to recut it down to about an hour, give you guys kind of a highlight of that show. I really think it's a great show, and it, it performed okay, but not as well as I would have liked it. So we're going to get Bert's back on next week. I'm just going to re-edit it a little bit. Should have Ben and Keith on again, our cocktail boys. They should be on before Christmas for a big holiday party cocktail blowout. Hopefully we'll get them on very soon. And I want to thank our sponsors, Idaho Brewers United, Treasure Valley Chevron, Like Button, and Boise Beer Buddies, all great sponsors. And you can support the show by visiting the sponsors through our page on Substack. That's idahobooze.substack.com. And while you're there, go ahead and subscribe already. It's free and makes getting the show very very easy for you. You can also subscribe on Spotify, Apple Pods, and now on YouTube Pods with exclusive video content on the YouTubes. Whew, that's cool. I want to thank all of you out there for listening. You can write into the show. Let me know how I'm doing at idahoboozepod@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening. Good day, good drinking, everyone, and go Broncos.